Ramayana Kalpavrksam.
When it comes to interesting work, useful work, there is nothing called time. And I'm certainly somebody who doesn't believe in time, sticking to time when there is so much scholarship available to us. So please do wait and watch. We have this absolutely amazing person coming up. In this last talk, we cross borders, we cross the Indian frontiers and go to the Ramayanas of other lands and their numerous interpretations. Why so many Ramayanas? So many versions, interpretations, perspectives? I answer in Vishwanatha Satyanarayana's words. Marala idela Ramayanam vannacho, ee prapanchaka mella ella vela tinuchunna anname tinuchu. తినుచున్న అన్నమే తినుచున్నది ఇన్నాళ్ళు తన రుచి బ్రతుకులు తనవిగాన చేసిన సంసారమే చేయుచున్నది తనదైన అనుభూతి తనదిగాన తలంచిన రామునే తలంచెద నేనును నా భక్తి రచనలు నావిగాన. If I'm asked, he says, why again Ramayana? I say, why do we eat the same rice over and over again with relish? Why do we all experience the joys and sorrows of samsara in our own unique way? I too contemplate upon the Rama whom scores have contemplated upon, my devotion being mine. So taking us across the ocean is Ramaa Bharadvaj ji. She is a celebrated dancer, choreographer, storyteller, humorist. I can vouch for that, educator, playwright and author. She lived and worked in the USA for 31 years, where she was a recipient of multiple Lester Houghton Awards for her choreographies. After her return to India, she co-founded the popular Nadabindu Festival of Arts in Pune and curated its dance programming for 10 years. She was commissioned by the prestigious Marg publication to write the biographical cover story of the legendary contemporary dancer Padma Shri Astad Debu. Ramaji, as I have been a personal witness to, is a perfect mixture of scholarship, nuanced storytelling, wit and humor. But before I welcome her, since this is the last talk, I cannot thank all these wonderful speakers enough for spending their precious time with us and giving us so much of their scholarship, expertise and devotion. I cannot thank Sri Manohara Panini Vishwanath Garu, the grandson of the legendary Vishwanatha Satyanarayana Garu, for guiding me through the selection of the verses from RKV and for also discussing the nuanced meanings of the verses. And as we welcome Ramaa Bharadvaj ji, we end this joyful celebration of him whom Tyagaraja calls Jagadananda Karaka. Endaro Mahanubhavalu, Andariki Vandanamudu. Please welcome Ramaa Bharadvaj.
Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Anjaneyaya Namaha. Vanakkam. For 2 full days, researchers, scholars, pundits, academicians, linguistic experts have been providing us with various lenses with which to view the Ramayana. And then, here I come. I don't fit into any of those categories. I simply tell stories through movements as a dancer, through words as a writer, and through both as a storyteller. I simply tell stories. So, what am I doing here on this stage? Well, I'll tell you. You see, the Ramayana saga has held sustained magnetism through the ages, not because it is an epic or a kavya or a literary magnum opus, but because it is a story. A story that has been told and retold, and with each retelling, it has magically transformed and it has reanimated itself and recontextualized itself to the life, the times, and the world of its listeners. So, today, after 2 days of reflections, insights, perspectives into the literary import, and the symbolism of the Ramayana, I am here simply to embrace all of you back into Ramayana, the story. And not just a single story, but a few variations of the same story. And not just from the land of its origin, but beyond the Desi land. And this is the title of my talk today, Ramayana Beyond the Desi Land. And this little demo that you saw is for the benefit of all the dancers. Okay? How to use Suchi Hasta creatively. Okay? So, and today I do not have a PowerPoint presentation. This is the power that's going to make all the points in this presentation. So, come along. Let's join Lord Rama on his walk around the world in 30 minutes. Okay. And today, this global walk begins with a personal story. Destination, Los Angeles, California. 15 years ago. Location, the home backyard of an African-American woman who was a shaman. A friend had taken me there to participate in an intense Native American purification ceremony called the Sweat Lodge that this shaman woman was going to lead us through. And in her backyard, there was a grassy mound encircled with a ring of large pebbles into which we were told not to step. And I asked, why? And she said, because Lord Ram and his brother stood there. Had it been a vision or simply a mirage? An image or an illusion, faith or fantasy? It really doesn't matter. Because to that African-American shaman woman, who was not even a practicing Hindu, by the way, Lord Rama's footprint had forever sanctified her Los Angeles backyard. And thus it was that a local tale was born to join all the other numerous tales that have come into existence, the Ramayana tales that have come into existence, since the Adikavi created his Adikavya. The Rama story traveled from its land of origin to other parts of Southeast Asia through merchants and travelers along 3 routes. The northern land route into China and Tibet, and from China to Japan. The southern sea route into Java, Sumatra, and Malaya. And the eastern land route into Burma, Thailand, and Laos. Vietnam and Cambodia got their stories partly from Java and partly from India via the eastern land route. And then Rama began to weave his magic. Beyond God, beyond hero, Rama became an experience. And each culture experienced him through their own story. In Java and Indonesia, in Java, Indonesia, as Kakawin Ramayana. In Thailand, a Buddhist country, as Ramakien. In Laos, as Falak Falam. And in Malaysia, an Islamic country, as Hikayat Seri Rama. In Philippines, as Maharadya Lavana. In Japan, as Hobutsushu. In addition, Nepal, Tibet, Cambodia, Burma, Bali, Sri Lanka, China, Persia, all had their own versions. And in each of these cultures, the Ramayana juxtaposed itself with the local beliefs, social customs, cultural ethos, and even religions in practice. The resulting stories had all the intrigue, all the deceit, all the drama and humor that you can imagine. Today, I bring to you a few such stories. And we will begin by looking at some main characters and their relationship to each other. I mean, how difficult can that be, huh? Rama is Dasaratha's son. Agreed? Good. Sita is his wife. Hanuman is his trusted general. And Ravana is his antagonist. That's it, pure and simple. Unless you happen to be gazing at the family tree in the Southeast Asian Ramayanas. And oh, what a tangled tree it is. Let's see now. Rama is Dasaratha's son. That much is said. And Sita is Dasaratha's daughter, but born in Lanka to Ravana's wife. And Ravana has no clue. Hanuman is Rama's son, but Rama has no clue. Hanuman has a son who happens to also be Ravana's grandson and is being brought up by Ravana's son, and Hanuman has no clue. Ahalya's daughter is Hanuman's mother, but who the father is, the daughter herself has no clue. Vali and Sugriva are Hanuman's uncles because they are Ahalya's sons, but not through sage Gautama. And about this, everybody has a clue. So, in Southeast Asia, Ramayana is one big happy family affair. And I mean affair. So, we start with two stories about Sita's birth. I picked the first story from the Malaysian Ramayana because it begins with the assimilation of the local religion, Islam. King Dasaratha, who is the great grandson of Prophet Adam, true, finds a beautiful girl who is Mahavishnu's daughter in the bamboo clumps and weds her. Ravana, hearing this about this new queen's beauty, desires her for himself and so asks Dasaratha. And Dasaratha agrees and commands his wife to go with this man. Maybe a reflection of the social mindset that a woman is, after all, a man's property. But our queen tricks Ravana. From the dirt of her body, she creates a green frog, gribbit, gribbit, and turns it into a replica of herself. And Ravana, unaware, returns happily to Lanka with the clone. On the way, he insults a rishi. Ha! Are you man or monkey? And the rishi curses him. Oh yeah? You shall be destroyed by men and monkeys. Have a nice trip. Now, back in hometown, Dasaratha is lovesick. He can't stop thinking about the beauty of this counterfeit woman that his wife has created. So, he sneaks into Lanka, into Ravana's bedchamber, and, does his thing with her, and returns. Sita is conceived and born, but Ravana has no clue that he is the father. He is not the father. However, warned by his brother Vibhishana, who is an expert astrologer, that Sita will bring ruin to Ravana, he throws her into the waters in a jewel box, which reaches Janaka, who adopts her. The second story of Sita's birth is from Thailand, and in it, we have a slightly more respectable scenario. From Dasaratha's fire rituals to procure an heir, a divine being emerges with 3 sweet balls. And a crow demoness from Lanka steals half of the ball and goes and gives it to Mandodari. And she conceives and begets a daughter. The ominous prediction, casting into the waters in a box, adoption by Janaka, all remain the same. Next, let's go to the most favorite character in Southeast Asian Ramayanas, Hanuman. Daring, smart, resourceful, devoted, he personified the freer aspects of life. And here are some of his adventures, starting with 2 stories about his birth. The first is from the Filipino version, Maharadya Lavana. After Sita is abducted, Rama goes searching in the forest, gets lost, and in exhaustion falls asleep. And he has a strange dream that a swampy water buffalo gores out one of his testicles and tosses it to the east. And the queen of the east swallows it, causing her to beget a monkey son. Rama wakes up and realizes that a testicle is indeed missing. Meanwhile, in the east, Hanuman is conceived and born. But when he gets no answer from his mother on who his father is, he leaves home in search. And during one of his adventures, he meets Rama and Lakshmana and introduces himself as the son of the queen of the east. Rama remembers his dream and recognizes Hanuman as his son. The second story of Hanuman's birth is from the Malay version of Hikayat Seri Rama. In it, both Rama and Sita are involved in the conception of Hanuman. After the wedding, Rama does not go back to his father's kingdom. Instead, they go directly to the forest. There, at a Rishi's ashram, Rama and Sita dive unknowingly into an enchanted pool and turn into monkeys. In an amorous mood, they climb a tree and copulate. But Lakshmana immediately pushes them into an antidote pool and they regain their human form. But now, Lakshmana is worried. If this union produces a baby, would it be a monkey? So, a nursemaid is summoned and she makes Sita spew out a jewel, which she carries and drops into the open mouth of Anjati Devi, who is doing penance. She begets Hanuman, who is born with a monkey face with earrings and a human body, and is told, when you meet the one who recognizes your earrings, know that you have met your father. In the same Malay version, there is a moving episode that speaks of Hanuman's longing for his father's love. When he is asked to fly to Lanka to find Sita, he says, I will, but on one condition. I must be allowed to eat from the same leaf as Rama. And then, as he gets ready to leap off into the air, the largest stone, the tallest tree, and the strongest mountain all collapse under his feet. So, Rama holds out his palm. And it is from this runway that Hanuman takes off to Lanka. The Southeast Asian Hanuman is neither a celibate nor serenely pious. He is quite a charmer who, according to both Thai and Cambodian Ramayanas, begets a son. And it happens when the bridge to Lanka is being built. Under the ocean lives a mermaid, Suvarnamacha, who is Ravana's daughter. Ravana tells her to stop the construction of the bridge. And so she keeps removing the stones that the monkeys are throwing in. Hanuman dives in to solve the case of the disappearing stones and wins the friendship and love of Suvarnamacha. Their union brings forth a son who is brought up by Mahiravana, the king of the netherworld. Son and father meet when Hanuman goes to the netherworld to rescue Rama from Mahiravana. In the Malay version, Hanuman is not an intentional participant in this child-making business. During his flight to Lanka, his sperm falls into the sea and a fish swallows it. And thus a son is born, who becomes the guardian of the fortress in the netherworld, ruled by Ravana's son. When Hanuman goes to the netherworld to rescue Rama from the fortress, he recognizes his son, who offers to help him by bringing Rama to him. But Hanuman refuses and advises his son to always be loyal to his master. Thus, in this story, we see Hanuman's integrity. Next, Hanuman and humor. When Lakshmana is wounded, Hanuman goes to fetch herbs from the mountains. And since the herbs must be ground on a special stone kept under Ravana's bed, he goes to Ravana's bedchamber to fetch that as well. But before leaving, he ties the hair of sleeping Ravana and his wife together and leaves a note. If this knot has to be undone, you must allow her to beat you on your head 3 times. And here, Ravana being beaten by a woman foretells that he will also be beaten in the war that began because of a woman. Now, let's look at a couple of popular episodes in the Ramayana and how they are depicted in the Southeast Asian versions. First, Sita Swayamvara. How is it shown in Indian dance? You have the bow that Rama lifts and strings and ta-da, right? Now, if you were doing one of the Southeast Asian versions, you will have to do this. Because Sita's father arranges a football match. A sipa, a rattan ball, must be kicked. And the one who kicks it so high that it goes and lands in the inner chambers of Sita is the one who should wed her. So Rama does it. But Sita's mother is not at all impressed. So she says, big deal. On the eastern mountain, there lies a huge serpent who blocks the sun's rays from reaching the city. So go kill it first. So Rama goes and does that and comes back. And the queen says, what proof is there that you have killed it? And Rama says, you want proof, do you? Okie dokie. And he lets that corpse of the serpent rot until it stinks up the entire city. And so the queen says, all right, Baba. Okay, just go get rid of it. And wait a minute, come here, daughter. Here, take my daughter. And that's how that was done. And in the Malaysian Ramayana, Rama shoots one arrow that pierces 40 palm trees in one shot. Next, we will look at two episodes that are always in contention. Episode 1, Vali Vadam. In the Malaysian version, Vali catches Rama's approaching arrow in his hand. And when Rama asks to return it, he says, Vishnu's arrow must always hit its target. And so he throws it towards the ground, it rises, swings back, and pierces Vali, killing him. In the Thai version too, Vali catches the arrow. But here, Rama says, just give me a drop of your blood that I can rub around the arrow, and that would fulfill the decree, Shiva's decree, that it must hit its target. But Vali says, as a noble warrior, I must fulfill Shiva's decree to the fullest. And so he plunges the arrow into himself and he dies. So, technically, Vali kills Vali. Episode 2, Sita's fire ordeal. In the Malayan version, the flames are lit, but Rama himself sits on the pyre with his Sita. And of course, the fire refuses to touch them and everyone is happy. Now, more than these kinds of changes, in the event details of the story, the most prominent change was effected by religious influences, Islam and Buddhism. In the Malayan version, before Hanuman departs from Lanka, Sita tells him to go and pay respects to the stone on which Nabi Adam landed on earth. During the war, it is the roots, the leaves, the bark, and the tree planted by Nabi Adam which become medicines to revive Rama. Dasharatha was Nabi Adam's great-grandson, while his wife is Mahavishnu's daughter. And this provides Rama with great ancestry. Nabi Adam on his father's side and Mahavishnu on his mother's side. Yeah. In the Filipino Ramayana, Ravana's father, Rama's father, Sita's father are all sultans. When Ravana does penances, it is Allah, Adam, and the angel Gabriel who grant his wish to rule over the world. This may be in substitution for Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva in order to give an Islamic spirit to the stories. Now I share with you the version from Japan, where a strong Buddhist influence turns the story into a lesson in non-violence, ahimsa. And I want to share the story in full with you, and I will use the actual names of the characters. The story begins with a prosperous kingdom ruled by a king named Tathagata Sakyamuni. But citizens of the neighboring kingdom of Kyushu are suffering from famine and decide to invade the prosperous kingdom for grains and food. But Sakyamuni is not interested in war or killing, so he and his wife retreat to the mountains to practice Buddhist dharma. Without a king, his warriors surrender and war is averted. In the forest, a young ascetic arrives, makes friends with the king, and begins to serve him. But one day, when the king has gone to gather fruits, the ascetic disappears with the queen. A dying bird with broken wings tells Sakyamuni that the ascetic was a dragon king who injured him and abducted the queen towards the south. On his way south, the king meets a group of monkeys who ask for his help to regain their kingdom from a neighboring king who had usurped it. Sakyamuni picks up a bow and draws the string so far that the enemy, simply on seeing this, flees. War is averted. The happy monkeys offer their help to Sakyamuni to find his queen and go with him to the south, to the seashore. Indra, Lord of Heavens, is so impressed with Sakyamuni's commitment to ahimsa that he himself takes the form of a small monkey and joins this group. Under his guidance, a bridge and rafts are built to reach the island of the dragons. The angry dragon sends out a dazzling light that stupefies all the monkeys. But the little monkey goes to Himalayas and returns with a branch of a medicinal herb. He touches the fallen monkeys with it and they recover. Sakyamuni now shoots an arrow at the dragon king and all the other dragons in his army flee. War is averted. The monkeys rescue the queen. Sakyamuni and the queen return back to their kingdom. So here you can see warfare is not glorified. And retiring into the forest was not a political decision, but a religious one for the upkeep of ahimsa. This brings me back to our Valmiki. What an inspired name he gave to his epic, Ramayana, Rama's journey. Because from all these stories, what we get is this one thing, that it is not just the destination that is important, but the journey itself and every step of the journey. And that journey should be all about values for life meant for that particular society in which you live. That is why the Ramayana is a personal experience and not a literature. And Rama is an inner spirit beyond God or hero. In Southeast Asia, the reverence with which Rama is held goes beyond religious connotations. In Thailand, the kings take oath in the name of Rama, and several of the Thai kings adopt the name of Rama as their royal title. After the Ayutthaya city was destroyed by the Burmese soldiers in the 18th century, a new dynasty began, and its first king called himself Rama I. And though he was a Buddhist, it was he who wrote the Ramakien, the Thai Ramayana, made it a national epic, and had it painted on the walls of the temple of the Emerald Buddha, patronized by the royal family. After him, all kings of his Chakri dynasty bore that title, Rama II, Rama III, and so on until Rama VI, which ending in 1925. I heard scholar Anita Bose say that in Thailand, she had attended the funeral of a king, where as part of the ceremony, a miniature Vishnu Loka with images of animals and plants was created in an open ground to honor their king, because they believed that he was the incarnation of Vishnu, who has now gone back to Vishnu Loka. And beyond the royal level, Ramayana was integrated into the lives of the commoner too. In Bali, Ramayana readings and performances were done as part of ceremonies like tooth filling, wedding, and even cremations. Why? Because of the benefits promised that at any stage of any ceremony, the desired success will be obtained. In Cambodia, a Buddhist country, when peasants feared a drought, they did a recital of a part from the epic. The part where Kumbhakarna physically blocks the water supply to the monkey army, but Hanuman and Angada remove his massive body using magical powers to restore supply. During natural calamities, farmers go to the monks who open their Ramayana, the Ramakirti, and place a stick on a random page. If the book opens to a page with episode like Hanuman fetching medicinal herbs, or Rama and Sita returning to Ayodhya, it is a good omen. But if it opens to an episode of warfare or Sita's abduction, then the forecast is critical. In Thailand, also a predominantly Buddhist country, it is compulsory to study their national epic, Ramakien, in government schools. Characters from the Ramayana have appeared on postal stamps and trading cards. I read that both in Thai and Laos traditions, Hanuman was part of a yantra design used by soldiers and martial arts specialists, and that Hanuman yantra would be drawn on protective shirts, headbands, or even tattooed on a fighter's body. So after listening to everything, there is still that one quintessential question that remains. How many Ramayanas are there? And why? And I answer this with a story. One day, Rama's ring falls off and disappears into a hole in the ground. And Rama sends Hanuman to fetch it. Hanuman turns himself tiny because he can, and through the hole goes to the netherworld. Back on earth, sage Vasishta and Brahma come to see Rama. The purpose of your incarnation on earth is over. It is time for you to leave this body, they say. So Rama arranges for the coronation of his two sons, and then Lakshmana first, and then Rama entered the Sarayu river and relinquished their bodies. Meanwhile, in the netherworld, Hanuman meets the king of spirits and asks for the ring. The king presents before him a platter with thousands of rings that all look exactly alike. And he says, these are all Rama's rings. Pick your Rama's ring. Hanuman is puzzled, and the king of spirits explains. There have been many Ramas. And before each incarnation of Rama ends on earth, his ring would fall, and I would collect and I would keep them. He says, pick your Rama's ring, but when you go back, your Rama will not be there. And thus it is that there are so many Ramayanas. And I once asked Swami Tejomayananda the same question. Guruji, if there was one person, there would be one story about him. But there are so many. So which Ramayana is right, Guruji? And he replied, there have been many Chaturyugas. Each Chaturyuga had a Treta Yuga. Each Treta Yuga had a Rama. Each Rama had a story about himself. And all these stories were different. So, it is Rama himself that revealed the various versions to the various poets for variety's sake. And they simply wrote what was revealed to them. What a beautiful answer of surrendering everything that you do to the divine. So, if Rama himself revealed it, why should we debate it? And so, I end my talk today not with a question, how many Ramayanas? But with an exclamation, how many Ramayanas? And I'm going to do it with a dance and a song. And the song is from an old Tamil movie, Lakshmi Kalyanam, M.S. Viswanathan's music and starring Shivaji Ganeshan. But the thing here is, in the end, there is going to be a refrain. And I want all of you to join in singing that. Would you do that? I will lead and you repeat. So, shall we try this? Okay. Raman எத்தனை ராமனடி ராமன் எத்தனை ராமனடி ராமன் எத்தனை ராமனடி அவன் நல்லவர் வணங்கும் தேவனடி தேவன் ராமன் எத்தனை ராமனடி. Now the refrain. Ram 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 ராமன் எத்தனை ராமனடி. Now I want to say this. For the last 2 days, what Ananda and Anupama have created on this space, this Ramamrita space, I said this in my promo, it's not a symposium, not a conference, not a talk series, no. It is actually a puja, a worship. And you can see the lamp never goes off under the fan. Hanuman is here, she said. Now in our culture, a proper puja or a ritual should conclude with a Rajopachar. And the Rajopachar always contains dance and music. So today, what we did, you and me together, was to offer Rajopachar to Ramamrita and to Lord Rama. So, thank you all very much. I want to thank Ananda for years of friendship and her just absolute faith in me. Thank you so much. And Anupama, I kept telling her, I can do it. And she said, you can do it. So thank you so much. And thank you all for being such a wonderful audience.
Ra